We would like to invite Mr. Ashok Agarwal ji, CEO, HEV Sun Mobility, as our distinguished speaker. Yes. So Mr. Agarwal will share his valuable insights during the concurrent session on new business opportunity on battery swapping. Yeah. Can I request all the members to kindly be seated? We are about to start the next session, please. We are about to start the next session. Could you please be seated? So can I request you to please be seated? We are about to start the next session. So we are delighted to welcome Agarwal ji. You are our distinguished speaker today, and I'm sure you're going to share your insights about new business opportunity on battery swapping. Go on, sir.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ashok Agarwal. I'm the global CEO for heavy electric vehicles battery swapping business of Sun Mobility. I have this small presentation to introduce our new technology and look forward for engaging session. Please feel free to interrupt me even if during the presentation if you feel there is a query, right? So the topic today we are discussing is leapfrog into new orbit. I'm going to introduce something which has not happened in India so far, and it just started in China. And this is going to disrupt EV adoption in India and globally. Do you wish to lead from the front? Disruptive green transition opportunity offering exponential growth. As we know, today, climate challenge is one of the big challenges which planet is facing, humanity is facing. Year 2024 was the warmest year, in the history of mankind. And we are very close to hitting 1.5 degree, incremental temperature on the planet. It is going to definitely have a disastrous, implications on humanity, not only economics. National energy security and forex. We are always dependent upon Middle East to import our fossil fuels, right? And geopolitically, we need to really create energy security for the world. Our Prime Minister has a vision to become net energy exporter from importer. Today we are importing more than $110 billion of crude, right? From there, moving to net exporter is all about green energy transition. Then, many of us are seeing EVs are growing gradually, but are we part of this journey? Or we really believe this is not for us? Because the fact is, India is, poised to lead EV revolution in the world after China. There is no doubt about it. I've spent 10 years doing EV technology, and I'm very confident the way policies have been framed. This is first time government is ahead of industry. Industry has to respond, right? So onus is upon us to reciprocate the government's vision towards faster energy transition, right? Do we really want to hedge this risk? All of us are sitting here, most of us are auto dealers. At some point in time, ICE will stagnate. First, growth will, taper, then it will stagnate, and maybe 20 years down the line, it will also start tapering, and new energy vehicles will start taking off. So, if you don't start participating in this journey today, maybe we will have a fear of, missing out. So this is the business for next generation of auto dealers and this fraternity, right? Because this is a sunrise industry. And it also, makes us integral part of driving a larger purpose of climate challenge. So we can become part of that, journey where we ourselves are involved and engaged in driving the larger purpose of achieving or meeting climate challenge or delivering energy security for the country. As business people, sometimes we feel that what is it which we are doing at country strategy level in terms of our own contribution, because I am not an IAS or I am not a minister. What is it which I can do? This is an area which is giving us an opportunity to be part of that larger purpose also. India's green energy revolution is fait accompli. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can reverse it. This is irreversible process now. It is not the question of why. It is a question of when and how fast. We have taken that, irreversible direction as a country. We are moving towards green energy transition. You see, last year, first time, more than million vehicles were sold. Maybe against the sale of 20 million new vehicles, 1 million is small. But silently, do we realize that 6% of two-wheelers were electric, which means 6% of the new incremental growth of petrol from two-wheelers is gone? Is clearly gone, because 6% is replaced. And this is, I think, by 2030, very easily achievable, almost 30%, which means incremental vehicle leading to growth of petrol consumption will be gone by 30%. That growth rate will taper by 30%. PM e-bus Seva. Only OEMs are manufacturing and OEMs are owning, OEMs are operating. So where is the adoption? And the market is 90% is SME. They have less than 5 vehicles. So are we really moving towards democratization of technology? Are we really making interesting for this fraternity sitting here, that you get excited how this transition will happen and how a normal driver come owner will be able to afford electric? And that's where you get excited and interested, right? This is where it becomes meaty opportunity. Otherwise, it remains only state transport undertakings, some 10, 15, 20,000. But what PM e-Seva has done very clearly, it has triggered the demand ecosystem. At least some supply chain, some production, some demand, some performance track record is there, right? It has just triggered the ecosystem for good in the right direction. But at the end of the day, those 25,000 bus operators and more than 3 lakh truck transporters, they don't really believe that they can afford EV, because subsidy is not meant for them. Then how do we solve this puzzle? On one side, I'm saying this process is irreversible. This has to happen and this will happen. And not a question of why, it is how, when and how fast. But these are the challenges that today only STUs are subsidized and the cost of entry cost is 2 to 2.5x. If the 55-ton diesel truck typically costs about 50 lakhs without trailer, the cost of 55-ton electric, which I have seen Tata has launched today, is 1.4 crores. Does it really make sense? And if that is the entry barrier, then what I said that it is fait accompli, am I talking sense? So these are the questions I'm sure you also want to become part of this journey, but you still need to figure out, is it really happening? Will hydrogen take over, or will electric will be successful, or the price will come down? Who will roll out the infrastructure? How, the common transporter or a bus operator will be able to afford electric vehicles, right? So, and on top of it, our minister last week announced, subsidies to be retired for EVs. No fresh subsidy after PME drive. Now, all this is very puzzling. That will it really take off? right? And that's what I think today I'm going to talk about. And the question is, do you want to be part of this exciting journey or be a follower? Do you want to just sell vehicles? Or would you rather own fuel pumps of the future? I'm sure some of you will be owning petrol pumps. Not that you don't own. Many of you do own petrol pumps. But each one of you can own petrol pump now. Petrol pump of the future is what I'm going to introduce today. Which means you are not selling chula, you are also selling LPG. Chula is sold once, LPG is sold every month in perpetuity, right? So run an energy annuity business in perpetuity is what I'm going to talk about. So I represent Sun Mobility. And before this, I founded Green Cell Mobility. Nobody in India believed a bus can run without subsidy. Green Cell is running buses without subsidy. And Green Cell is running buses 700 kilometers a day. So I thought in 2014 that if I have to get into EV, I have to get it without subsidy because that's only sustainable. So this subsidy for 5, 10,000, 20,000 against a bus market of 100,000 or 1,000,000 commercial vehicles in a year is not worth it getting into a new business if government is going to give 500 crores for electric truck, which is not even sufficient for 1,500 trucks in terms of matching the entry cost. So if I crack the business model and make the technology commercial, which is affordable in Indian context, and that too without subsidy, this is going to be fait accompli. This will become a reversible process, and we will end up democratizing the technology, where even driver come owner will be able to afford electric truck and electric bus. It's not only about STUs. How? So Sun Mobility is a company which was incorporated in 2017 by none other than Chetan Mani. Chetan Mani is the father of electric vehicles in India. He launched Reva car in 1999, 25 years ahead of the time. He studied in Stanford, came back to India, and created Reva. When he sold Reva to Mahindra Electric in, I think, 2009, Reva was getting sold in 24 countries, but it was still ahead of time, right? So he ran that business for Mahindra Electric till 2016. After that, he got fed up, and then he started Sun Mobility. Why? I'll discuss in next slide why Sun Mobility was even started. But today, Sun Mobility has attracted investments from IOC. Indian Oil has invested $300 million in Sun Mobility. Right? Vitol is world's largest energy trader, a $500 billion company, owns 24% of Sun Mobility. Bosch, a $100 billion German technology giant, owns 12% of Sun Mobility. So we have marquee investors, and they have shown faith in our technology. And what is this technology? I don't know how many of you are aware about it. In NCR, Delhi region, Sun Mobility has got 400 swap stations, more than petrol pumps of all companies put together. And we are running 31,000 vehicles. We are doing 60,000 swaps every day. Every 2 square kilometers in Delhi, we have a swap station where battery can be replaced in 2 minutes. No need for real estate to park the vehicle and wait for a couple of hours or 4 hours to charge the vehicle. We have separated charging from the vehicle. Charging is not done in the vehicle. No, so our first venture was for 2-wheelers and 3-wheelers, which we have commercialized, right? We are present in 20 cities. Today, by now, we have run our vehicles on swapping 710 million kilometers. Every day now, as of yesterday, we are running 2 million kilometers every day in Delhi. So the success of technology is already there to see. Right? And customer is not buying battery. Customer is buying a scooter for 40,000 rupees, which is, I mean, much lower than petrol scooter. So we are OEM agnostic. We integrate our battery technology with any OEM. Any OEM. Right? So for three-wheelers, like we are working with Piaggio, we are also working with Omega Siki. Our testing is also happening with Bajaj. So it's a one type of battery for two-wheeler. We put one battery in two-wheeler, two batteries in e-rickshaw, three batteries in three-wheeler, four batteries in Tata Ace. But battery is same. But we need higher range for a heavier vehicle or higher torque or higher power. So this is our two-wheeler, three-wheeler business. It is fully evolved network in Delhi today. And now we are going to 50 more cities with IOCL capital.
It works only on the vehicle of the OEMs with whom you are having tie-up with.
So we are open. Like I said, we are OEM agnostic. We are approaching all the OEMs. There are OEMs who are very quick. There are OEMs who are taking a little more time. Right? Everybody has their own path. But if customer starts demanding, all OEMs will migrate to this. Right? And there are more than 6 swapping companies for two-wheelers and three-wheelers in India. Only 3 oil marketing companies. There are already 6 swapping companies in two-wheeler, three-wheeler space. Like Battery Smart is there, Moving is there, Race is there, Honda is launched, right? Gogoro has launched from Taiwan. These are all two-wheeler, three-wheeler companies. Right? So you are selling vehicle without battery, which is cheaper than petrol. I'll give you a three-wheeler example. A Piaggio three-wheeler CNG costs about 2,80,000 to 3 lakh rupees. You know better than me, but this is the range. Electric vehicle with fixed battery will cost, without subsidy, no less than 4 lakhs. And subsidy will finish. It's already for two-wheeler, three-wheeler, it is already almost gone. It just,
Present government is giving.
PME drive, three-wheeler quota is over. They have allocated small quota from two-wheeler again to three-wheelers to keep it live. But it is expected that this subsidy is over. It's just matter of another couple of months or 3 months, 6 months.
This is up to March, no? This is up to
No,
March.
the scheme was meant for 2 years. But, the money allocated is over. So it will not last beyond next 3 to 6 months. Right? And no, minister has already announced no new subsidies for EVs.
So we were with the commerce minister. There were a lot of OEMs over there. I was there from FADA side, and the minister very clearly said that he doesn't want to extend any kind of subsidies to the EV market. He said that you should be self-sufficient.
That's what I was. That's what I showed you that slide, right? Minister has already said subsidies to be retired. So we own the batteries. We own the stations. And who should own the battery? The guy who understands the batteries really well. We can de-risk because we know what battery is as a technology company. We are manufacturing these batteries ourselves. It is our factory. It's our BMS. And it is our money. We better take care of it. Right? Sun Mobility has not reported a single fire incident in last 7 years. Right? So, these are the challenges. We say high entry cost. अभी स्कूटर भी 80,000 का आता है, इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटर विदाउट बैटरी 40,000 का आता है, 50,000 का आता है, जैसी क्वालिटी. थ्री व्हीलर का मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा था. 2,80,000 to 3 lakh is the Piaggio CNG. Piaggio electric is about 3.5 to 4 lakh. Piaggio electric without battery is 2,20,000. Yeah, 2,20,000. So it is cheaper than CNG. Why? It is cheaper than CNG. Why? Only 20 moving parts, not 2,000. Maintenance is also low. Dead weight is also low. And some fans in my home are working for 45 years. Motor is a motor is a motor. It's a 100-year-old technology. And railways is running on motors, right? If railway can run on motor, why can't a truck or a bus or a two-wheeler or a three-wheeler is nothing? Right? So one is price. With battery, it becomes very expensive. And battery risk goes on vehicle owner. Battery replacement cost has to be taken care of by vehicle owner. Charging infrastructure also has to be taken care of. So
On vehicle OEM. Vehicle OEM is taking
see, it's
risk
a
for
warranty.
5 year. 5 year.
5-year warranty, right?
Yeah.
So replacement risk cost has to be.
No vehicle owner. OEM. After 5 year. But up to 5 year, they will get very good amount. Yeah.
See, the risk, of course, Bajaj will honor it, or big OEMs will honor it, but there is a risk associated, right? And there are many scenarios. Cell suppliers find a very small loophole in the warranty because it's all Chinese. It is still 3 years before batteries are produced in India. Cells are produced in India. Battery assembly has started, but cells are not getting produced in India. So it's very difficult to deal with those guys. And OEMs become helpless. Big brands will absorb the cost and take a hit, even if they don't get a backstop, back-to-back replacement from their tier 1 supplier, but there is a risk. So battery ownership, which chemistry? LFP, NMC, LTO, lead acetate, it is changing every day, semi-solid. Customer is confused. It's not his subject. And it's still highly evolving technology. Technology obsolescence rate is so high. What battery was $1,000 and giving me 2,000 cycles, today $100 giving me 6,000 cycles. So there is a risk. The depreciated value, because you own the battery, nobody knows how to resell that vehicle. Because how do you value the battery in the second-hand vehicle? So resale market is not getting developed. There's so many challenges. Right? So charging infra, long refueling time. If the bus or truck, if it is parked for 4 hours in a day, or 6 hours in a day for charging, when it is going to run? Because it's a commercial vehicle, it has to be on road and not in a charging and parking bay. Right? Financing. If the 1 crore worth of a truck will get a financing of 5 years, his EMI will be more than his revenue. Because it's an asset liability mismatch. Because the life of the vehicle is for 10, 15 years. You are just trying to repay the whole loan in 5 years. It's a mismatch. That is why it is not taking off, and there is no subsidy for private market. So these are the challenges. How we are going to solve it? First thing what swapping does. Swapping separates the battery from the vehicle. Customer doesn't need to buy the battery. Battery is sun mobility problem. Customer doesn't need to bother about charging infra. I will charge my batteries. And I'll give you per kilometer, per kilowatt hour, like you buy diesel or CNG, per kg, per liter. Like I'll sell electricity per kilowatt hour. Investment is ours, right? What it does, the same 55-ton electric truck, which is costing more than 1 crore, will be sold less than 50 lakhs. If we remove the battery from the vehicle will be sold at a price less than its diesel equivalent. So entry barrier is solved, battery risk is gone, and you are paying as you go. Nothing. For batteries, nothing. Some small security deposit so that you just take care of my battery, not just purposefully damage it. Very minuscule amount, like some few thousand against a 50 lakh investment of mine. Just a commitment that you are not going to abuse it for sake of it. That deposit not going to make good in terms of my investment requirement. So the parity is achieved. If parity is achieved, even 5-year financing is okay. And in case of 55 ton, many of you would understand it takes 45 rupees to 49 rupees per kilometer of diesel. Right? We have done a deal at 34 rupees and no subsidy, which means you are saving 30% on your fuel cost. So your vehicle to vehicle price is same, and soon electric vehicle without battery will be cheaper than your diesel or CNG vehicle. That's point number one. So entry and financing is taken care of. Battery risk is absorbed by me. I will roll out the charging infra. And I'm giving you 20% discount or 30% discount or 10% discount, depending upon which vehicle, what utilization you are committing. And you are paying as you go. You are running 200 kilometers. Like diesel, you pay and fill the tank. You pay me prepaid swap. I deduct the balance. I release the swap. Right? So it's cheaper than diesel. Entry cost is same. Fuel is cheaper. Battery is owned by us. Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. So look at the TCO. This 55 tonner I explained. The orange line is the diesel price of 52 lakhs. The blue line is 1 crore 25 lakhs, is the electric truck with battery. In swapping, there are two parts. The lower green is the vehicle cost, which is equal to diesel, and the remaining is invested by us. That remaining part, when converted into per kilometer basis, it saves you 20 rupees, 20%. Which means, what does this mean for industry? It's a game changer. In a truck business, 50% is fuel. On that 50% cost, if you save 10%, 20%, 30%, your existing margin is 7 to 10%. On the fuel, if you save 20%, your profitability will be doubled. And actually, we don't need subsidy. So, swapping will end up doubling the profit margins for transport sector. That is why POG is a very dear friend. We have explained and shown this technology running on the ground. We are integrating our technology with all top 5 OEMs in the country. And you will see these vehicles being rolled out without subsidy. And doubling the profitability of industry without subsidy. Looks like a tall promise, but we have signed some agreements already. And we are not losing money. So it's not a fly-by-night. IOCL is my shareholder, right? It's a well-governed, board-operated company. Yeah, Navratna company. So it's doubling the profit of transportation sector. This is our product. The middle one is our swap station. It's like a container. So you take it and place it anywhere. And it comes with a robot. The other one, because truck and bus batteries. Now I'm coming to truck and bus. So I represent truck and bus. I just introduced that Sun Mobility also does two-wheeler and three-wheeler. But now we are launching buses and trucks. Why? Because that's what matters. 4% of vehicles contributing to 45% of emission. And that's what matters. Your $70 billion worth of diesel. 70 billion annual consumption of diesel in India on trucks and buses. That's what matters. Right? That's a manual station. If the volume is low, there is only one vehicle, two vehicle on the route, and you have to do the swap. And we have multiple types of batteries. 25 kilowatt hour, 50 kilowatt hour, 100 kilowatt hour. Today you need 300, so put 3. Tomorrow you need 200, so you need 2. You are only with a limited range, so you want only one, take 100. It's like fuel. आज 500 का भरना है, आज 2000 का भर दो, आज 5000 का भर दो. We have gone that closer to the diesel.
What is the weight of this container?
This container weight is less than a ton, right? We move this container.
So have you ever tried installing it on a vehicle instead of keeping it on the ground?
I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and any kind of vehicle. I don't have to design a new robot or a new battery. For any OEM, any vehicle between 3 tons to 70 tons. It is a tipper, trailer, fixed haulage, LCV, ICV, MCV, HCV, port operations, mining operations, 24 by 7 operations. Fixed battery even can't do 24 by 7. Well, finally, you will have to charge the battery. How much time it takes to swap this battery? Just guess. Is 120 seconds. It's robotic. And any vehicle. Anna, let's see more. See, somebody will say, I will give you the space to place the battery here. Somebody will say there. No OEM will standardize it, right? They have their own way of doing things. So somebody will say, put behind the cabin, somebody will say, put on the chassis, somebody will say, put below the chassis. Somebody will say, put side by side, somebody will say, put one above another. Our technology is modular. We don't care. Batteries are same. I'm not changing battery for any OEM. I have 4 types of batteries. Those 4 types of batteries are in the station. Robot will identify the vehicle that Tata 407 has come. It has a battery below the chassis and it needs 25 kilowatt hour. Driver will select 25 or 50. 2 options are there for that small. So today I want 25, tomorrow I want 2 of 25. I just take it, 120 seconds, 1 battery, 240 seconds, 2 batteries, and I'm off. No range. It's a death of range. It's a death of range anxiety because now you can go 3,000 kilometers, nobody cares. Because after every 150, 200 kilometer, driver takes a break. Swapping is happening in less than that. Look at the buses. Tata Motors has got a battery on the rooftop for the fixed electric buses. Somebody has got a battery on the belly, somebody is behind, somebody is front. I don't care. We pre-integrate the technology. Buses are sold without vehicle, trucks are sold without the vehicle. I'm available. I know this is the vehicle, this is the battery. This is what you were talking. Of course I can do. Emergencies. Suppose you are stuck on a highway because of traffic. You plan battery swap or you plan battery charge for a fixed battery. You are stuck in a traffic. For a fixed battery, only option is that you have to tow the vehicle. For us, we can go there and change the vehicle, battery. So it's an emergency service vehicle which will be there on highways, which can go and take care of it, right? Similarly, the manual station.
Or else it can be used in an application where you can share space with some petrol pump owner, park this vehicle and...
So one good news is, last time I met Commerce and Industry Minister. We were struggling with PESO approval for petrol pumps. It took 6 months, 9 months. So he has announced self-regulation. So PESO will give the guidelines. We have to adhere to the guidelines. And in the same statement when he said the subsidy days are over for EV, he said that every petrol pump will have a swap or a charge station. And PESO approval is not required. PESO will give a guideline which an installer or a CPO or a battery swap company has to follow. They will only audit. And I have IOC as my investor. I have access to 37,000 petrol pumps, and I have access to their 13,000 LPG distributors. So we are fully equipped with capital, with space, with technology, and we are working with top OEMs.
Space is the biggest crunch in
and my container is 200 square feet. The space required by my robotic station is less than what you need to park a truck, even LCV. The station is so small. Any which way I don't need. In a fixed battery, if you want to charge 5 trucks or a 25 trucks, then it gets into acres. In a swap, with a 200 square feet space, I can do 400 swaps in a day.
If you give the unit for charging station, will you take some amount from the dealer?
So I'll come to that part also. Yeah, that's a very, so first, I'm just explaining what we are doing. And why we are here is obviously we want to appoint full service partners. So we have developed a model, right, where there's some investment and there's some return and there's some obligation or job description or there's an engagement model which we have worked out. So I'll run this It's all automatic. So this is automatic connectors. So by the first of the battery itself, it gets connected, and there is no current flowing. When so before when the vehicle comes and parked, it is switched off, and battery cannot come out till current is flowing. It will not even disconnect, right? So it has to be switched off automatically. Then the robot arm will pull it out, right? So the pull which we have given to the robotic arm in terms of capacity will take care of the weight of the battery and the little bit of pull it needs, to pull the battery out, and similarly the push. And these are all IP67, 10,000 cycles connectors, right? So these are tried and tested commercial products, not evolving thing, right? I have not switched off my testing robot for last 4 months. Every day it does 400 swaps, and it has been doing it for last 100 days. Right? So it's a very robust, rigorous testing and validation. And government has now announced safety and performance standards. So I need a ARI certificate for this robotic station. So it's not like just anything is coming out. It's a proven, tried, tested, certified product as per government regulation. Right? Now you saw one battery. Now you can have another slot next to the one. So you can have 2 batteries. Or this robot can go on the roof also. So the traverse of the robot is 3 meters. Right? And it can go up to 200 mm, which is the clearance, and then push the battery below the chassis also. Right? So we showcased this technology in Pravas. Pravas was a bus expo, right, in August end. I started Green Cell in 2019. I had 5,000 crore. I was fortunate, And we now have, that company has more than 2,500 buses on fixed battery, running intercity buses more than 300. 5,000 kilometer highways have been electrified on fixed battery. A lot of money is there, which is not the fact for the market. It's a unique scenario. Right? So nobody is buying electric buses from you. Nobody is buying electric trucks at that scale. The whole country has sold 150 trucks last year of 55 tons. Right? In a private market, they have not even sold 50 buses. Not even 50. It's all institution. Then how will you democratize? See the response in Pravas. We generated order book of 13,000 buses from small operators in 3 days. And since that day, Mr. Goyal said subsidy is not required. Now it is working. I've seen it working. Because 13,000 buses to small operators without subsidy. What was the equation? Veera, this is a Veera bus, 10.5 meter Mofussil bus. He launched this bus for 40 lakhs. AC Mofussil intercity bus, 2x2, coach. Now which bus, intercity bus in diesel is available for 40 lakhs? Nothing. Okay. This bus consumes at a Volvo level 30 rupees a kilometer of diesel. At Ashok level and Tata Motors level, maybe 24, 25 rupees kilometer of diesel. We offered 19 rupees. So entry from 65 lakhs to 40 lakhs and fuel 25 rupees to 18, 20 rupees. Obviously, suddenly that driver cum owner started believing, oh, I can also own electric. The true feeling of, achievement or accomplishment that we have cracked it in terms of democratization of this technology now. So the product is under certification, validation and certification now. By April, we should be able to commercialize and start deploying these orders. Battery replacement, electricity, everything is 19 rupees kilometer, period. You don't have to worry about battery, electricity, station. It's a per kilometer pay as you go. Like you fill for diesel. If you are 100 kilowatt hour battery, right? 1 unit consumption, say for example, 100 kilometers will go, give me 1900, period. And next station, take the new battery. Forget about the old one. When the battery life is, below 20%, SOH goes to below 80%, my problem to replace the battery. Not your problem. I come and, so give you service on the highway also, where you missed or, traffic jam happened and you lost the energy. buffer, you could not reach to the swap station or you missed the swap station, emergency response vehicle can also do that. So this is a response, so which means market has really liked it. And why won't you like it? Theoretically, whatever I said, it makes sense. It's a value proposition for the customer. So become a business partner. That's the whole idea, sir. What you were asking. For Sun Mobility, disruptive energy infrastructure. Sell the vehicles like you sell. Sell the energy with us. And we have an annuity model. Till we are signing 12-year agreement with the customer. Why? The vehicle is being bought without battery. He needs energy supply security. So we are taking care of that. I am investing in the infrastructure. So I need revenue security. So it's a mutual win-win. Nobody has till date told me that 12 years is too long. Because he believes that vehicle life will be 15 years. And our clause says 12 years minimum and mutually extendable for the life of the vehicle. We are obligated to supply energy. And we want that way because I am investing upfront. So I need revenue visibility. When you acquire a customer, there is an acquisition incentive. When that customer uses the battery, you have annuity incentive on per kilowatt hour basis. Which means like telecom prepaid recharge. I launched Airtel prepaid in Delhi in 1998 or 99. Hindustan Unilever, existing dealers became Airtel dealers. In first 6 months, they were very unhappy. Because only handful of mobiles and cards will be sold. As the prices came down, at least 20 Hindustan Lever dealer or Coke dealer and Pepsi dealers told me, sir, what turnover we achieved after 50 years of dealership. We have crossed that prepaid recharge annuity turnover in 2 years. And their second generation didn't want to do distribution. They wanted new tech, so they moved into telecom. Similarly is the situation today, ICE vehicle to new energy vehicles. Right? So we are saying investment is a security deposit, which is interest bearing. I own the battery, I own the station. Just take care of my infrastructure in your area. Right? For that, say, interest bearing, refundable security deposit. We don't need your money, we need your commitment. Right? Returns more than you think. Definitely. This is not the forum to get into nitty-gritty, but I'm saying linked purely to your efforts. More you sell, more petrol you sell. And that petrol will be sold for 12 years. One vehicle sold will make you earn 12 years. Right? And more than merrier, sky is not the limit. If you have ability to sell 1,000 vehicles a year, 1,000 vehicles every year, next year will become 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Every vehicle will give you annuity for 12 years. Even if I give 2%, it will be, it is a multiplier of the deposit, not in percentage. After a while, once the vehicle population in your area, goes a significant number. Right? So, sorry? We can discuss it because that's a very, question in detail. It's a matter of discussion. Like I said, we don't really need money. We need commitment, skin in the game. That's all. BG is fine. I can say that. But I should not say that openly that everybody will jump to that. But that BG or that capital of 2 crore or 10 crore, depending upon volume and what you're selling, I will be needing more than 35,000 crore in the next 5-7 years. Even if I appoint 200 dealers in the country, it's not even 400 crore to 1,000. This is not what I'm looking for. So BG is absolutely fine to say the least, but just saying, that's not a problem. Right? So this is existing automotive business partners with access to commercial vehicle customers, with existing workshop, and because some maintenance, we'll train your technicians, your operators will run the station, so the breakdowns we'll train, we'll give you the spare, we'll give the softwares, diagnostics. So we are a technology company and we will invest. That's we have twofold roles, and we will bring OEMs on the board for the chassis which gets sold. So that is our responsibility. Rest is a full service partner. Customer acquisition, billing, collection, operations, maintenance, land acquisition, power infrastructure, everything is with full service partner. Call of the customer in a problem will not land on my desk, it will land on your desk. You own him. I give you the CRM and the escalation metrics and the DOA. That's the model is, right? So happy to respond if any further questions. Thank you. Battery is a battery, right? But we have filed 147 patents. So battery is dumb like any other battery. But the software and the interface control unit, which talks between vehicle and the battery, is our IP. Because my battery can cater to any vehicle in the world. So there is a controller in between. And that is the patent, not the battery. No, so multiple channels will be there for sales. Even DSA channels also will be there, right? Like they have their key account managers, DSAs, and their OEM channels will be available, right? No, you are not, in our case, you are not purchasing the battery. No, so that is not we are doing. We can convert that into sun, but that battery will go waste. So that we are not doing. So we are not doing retrofitting. We can do retrofitting of a diesel. We can do retrofitting of a CNG. But we should not do retrofit of a fixed battery existing vehicle till the battery is consumed. So maybe after 3 years, 4 years, when battery is gone, then maybe is the time to retrofit. And that, what we are doing in three-wheeler e-rickshaws here, all lead-acid batteries, e-rickshaws were running in Delhi. When the lead-acid battery is exhausted and drained, next time he buys a soft battery. So that time is the right time to change, rather than allowing the existing fixed battery to go waste. We can do. We can also do retrofit. Thank you. Land is there with IOC, no? So we also have, I mean, you can definitely help. If we need a station at a location where IOCL pump is not there, you need to help us. But it is our agreement, we will pay the rental. Right? You just help us getting approvals or finding some brokers who can help us finding a land. It's assistance, not the ownership, not the obligation. You give the operator,
Offline.
you give the maintenance technician, you give the salesperson, you give the customer sales executive or customer relationship executive, you give the manpower, you give the workshop, you give the deposit, that's it. You have walk-in of customers, you know the customers, I mean, that's not a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for your valuable insights. And dear members, you can connect with Mr. Agarwal offline. Sir, please be on the stage. We would like to felicitate you. And of course, sir, you have given such valuable insights that I'm sure many of our dealer friends would be, prodding over this wonderful new technology of yours. So we will surely, this is going to be a takeaway from today's discussion. Thank you very much. Yeah. So high tea is served and we will gather in another 15 minutes. At 5 o'clock. The next session is supposed to start at 5 o'clock. And please be on time.